CBS Sunday.
Tonight, join Dave, Congresswoman Susan Molinari, music group 7 Mary 3, and a whole lot more. Now stay tuned for your local news.
A new enemy moves in on Bay Area citrus, and it could cost a bundle to get rid of.
Plus, could a change at the top of St. Petersburg's police force mean other changes? And these Kmart shoppers try to steal a deal. It's 10 minutes of nonstop news starting right now.
Good evening, everyone. Along with Sue Zelenko, I'm Pat Andersen. Thanks for joining us tonight. A new crisis in the citrus groves this evening. Not something flying around this time, but rather a bacteria. It's called citrus canker, and it causes lesions on the leaves, stems, and fruit. The fruit falls off, making it almost impossible to sell. Here's Sue with more.
Well, Pat, this is a major problem. Citrus canker has been confirmed now in 200 grapefruit trees in a grove just northeast of Palmetto. Now, state agricultural officials have had an eye on this grove since 1991 when it was first infected with the disease. The reason for the alarm, though? Back in the 80s, a canker outbreak meant that 20 million trees had to be destroyed at a loss of $200 million. Pat?
The canker has been found in a few grapefruit trees and some orange trees, too, in 2 adjacent groves. Those groves straddle Interstate 75 in western Manatee County. And that's where we find 10 News reporter Bill McGinty right now. Bill, fill us in.
Well, Pat, canker, as we've been reporting, is a disease that affects the whole citrus tree. Over here, a healthy leaf should look something like this. This is a classic example of a healthy leaf. A bad leaf would look something like this if we can get it down into the light. You see all the damage on that leaf. It's tough to, with all the shadows out here, it gets a little bit tough. But that leaf is damaged, and so that might look like canker. Canker would look something like that. Here in Manatee, growers are going to be on the lookout for more canker over the next couple of weeks and months. Same with the Department of Agriculture, because, Pat, theoretically, canker could cost a grower his entire grove. Citrus canker is a different battle altogether for growers to battle this summer. Within the next couple of days, this entire Manatee County grove, all 31 acres of it, will have to be burned because of canker. It's a bacterial disease. It attacks a citrus tree, the fruit, and its leaves.
You know, it would look like that. It would have lesions on it. You've got a greasy spot here, but it looks almost like canker.
And in all the... Cecil Burnett has been growing citrus on his 1,000 acres in Manatee County for more than 50 years. Is canker the worst thing that can happen to a grower? One of them?
Probably. Probably, yes. Especially the way the state and the federal government feels about it, because they want it eradicated. They thought they did have it eradicated. And now they come to find out that it's back again in the same place it was in before.
If this area is quarantined because of canker, Burnett will have to unload his fruit to processing plants instead of fresh fruit sales, and processing doesn't pay as much. Canker will also make Florida citrus undesirable outside the United States.
The big problem we have, however, is that countries that we market our fruit in that don't have citrus canker, they don't want citrus canker either. So to keep citrus canker out of their area, they would restrict our fruit from coming in.
Pat, one interesting footnote. A grower told me earlier this evening you can still eat fruit that has citrus canker. It may not look pretty because of the lesions and the damage to the skin of the fruit, but the inside of the fruit should still be okay. That's what a grower told us a little bit earlier tonight. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Bill McGinty. Pat, back to you.
Bill, people get a bacterial infection. We take antibiotics. There's nothing like that for citrus plants, I gather.
Well, what they're telling us is that citrus canker is contagious. It's, of course, not contagious to people, but it's contagious from one tree to another.
Bill, thank you very much. Bill McGinty for us tonight. Sue?
Well, now on to another front. The Medfly battle zone is expanding, and that means the state will now have to extend the Malathon spraying zone. The new zone extends to Temple Terrace. That means what was once 2 smaller zones is now 1 large one. Meantime, in Brandon, state workers and inmates are in the process of stripping an abandoned grove of fruit. The Medfly larvae was found in the grove, and all the citrus must now be taken off the trees and off the ground and burned.
Well, because of the amount of larvae that's been found at this site, yes.
If you don't pick this, then what would it happen?
Well, it'll pupate, and we'll have flies all over the place.
So this is a big part of the war.
This, right? Well, this and the spraying, of course.
And about the spraying, the state will now have to spray on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for at least the next 8 weeks.
The dust is still settling tonight from a big change at City Hall in St. Petersburg. It began with the resignation of Rick Dodge as city administrator, the man in charge of the city's day-to-day affairs. Dodge is best known, perhaps, for helping to bring baseball to St. Pete. He's being succeeded by Darrell Stevens, the police chief, who drew so much fire after last year's unrest in South St. Pete. And Stevens is being followed at the police department by Assistant Chief Goliath Davis, making Davis the city's first ever African-American chief. Dodge had been ill, but says he's doing better, and it's just time for something else.
And the truth of it is, as I told my wife this morning, I feel like I could eat elephants and spit out tigers. I feel wonderful.
Question now is whether changing of the guard downtown will go over well with St. Pete citizens. We sent 10 News reporter Reginald Roundtree out tonight to test the waters in this time of transition.
The front page of USA Today spelled it out in a recent poll. Blacks and whites are more accepting of each other. That thought will certainly be tested as St. Petersburg prepares for its first African-American police chief.
I think that it'll be well received. I think there will be some opposition, but that'll be smoothed out right away.
Now, some residents suspect the placement of Goliath Davis as police chief might have been made to appease the black community because of racial unrest. Joyce Dispenza doesn't see it that way.
He has a feel of what the community wants and needs.
Charlotte Roush says it's okay if Davis earned it, but he will have to make sure that he takes care of all of the city's residents.
Let's just give him a chance and see what he can do for both sides.
The St. Petersburg Police Department has had several police chiefs leave under a cloud of controversy. Now, Goliath Davis will have his turn to see if he can weather the storm. In St. Petersburg, I'm Reginald Roundtree, 10 News.
Well, the new police chief is no stranger to the city. Goliath Davis was born and raised in St. Petersburg. He became a certified police officer and firefighter back in 1973. In '84, he moved to the position of deputy chief. His responsibilities included budget and training, and in 1990, Davis was promoted to assistant chief.
Prosecutors have released surveillance video of a bungled holdup at a Kmart in Tampa back in February. It shows 3 armed men wearing ski masks entering the store. They order the clerks and customers to get down. Moments later, the men take the safe out with a shopping cart. The safe was too heavy to lift into a car. 3 men are now awaiting trial in the case, and the tape will be evidence. The penalty phase of Timothy McVeigh's Oklahoma City bombing trial is almost ready now to go to the jury. The last of the defense witnesses made their pleas for McVeigh's life today. This, as a new Harris poll came out, suggesting that 64% of Americans believe McVeigh deserves the death penalty. One of the last witnesses, Mildred Frazier, Timothy McVeigh's mom, she read from a written statement. "He is not the monster he's been portrayed as," she said. "Yes, I am pleading for my son's life." As she read, McVeigh appeared to wipe away a tear. Then the jury looked at pictures of McVeigh's early years, happier times by far. Timothy at age 10, taking a stroll, a happy-go-lucky kid. Christmas, McVeigh's father Bill said this was a happy Tim, the Tim he remembers most. Trick or treat, a trip to the grandparents for candy and home movies. And then out of school and into the Army.
He didn't seem to mind going, and he was ready to go when the time came. They went to Kuwait.
McVeigh's attorneys plainly hoped that calling his parents last would give the defense an emotional close.
It was very painful, and I admired them because they did the same thing I would have done. If I was in their place, I would be begging for my son's life.
And now, says lead defense attorney Stephen Jones, the burden falls to the jury.
I think everyone paid very close attention. The jury has been very attentive, and they obviously know it's an important decision. And I'm sure that they will study it with calm deliberation.
Closing arguments come tomorrow, then the judge's instructions, and then the deliberations.
You know, McVeigh's family isn't alone in wanting to see him alive. Oklahoma City was the site of a death penalty protest of sorts today. Among those saying nothing will be accomplished by putting McVeigh to death, the father of one of the victims. Did a Sebring doctor try so hard to ease a dying patient's pain that he killed him accidentally, or was it intentional? Mercy or murder? That's what a Highlands County jury must decide. Dr. Ernesto Pinzon is accused of intentionally giving 70-year-old Rosario Guerreri a lethal dose of pain medication. Guerreri was dying of lung cancer. The defense says it was the disease, not the medication, that killed him.
And as his lungs filled with fluid, The rails and crackles that you could hear turned to the sound of a death rattle.
You are not going to believe what that doctor just did to that patient. He just killed him. In their words, I think he just pulled a Kevorkian on him.
Pinzone says he meant only to ease the man's suffering, as the family had wished, not kill him. More testimony expected tomorrow.
Our coverage of America begins tonight with yet another trial for the so-called suicide doctor, Jack Kevorkian, in Ionia, Michigan. Kevorkian's accused this time of assisting in the suicide of a woman with MS. The jury heard opening statements today. Kevorkian was absent, avoiding protesters who were picketing outside. In suburban St. Louis, a student driver lost control of a public bus today and hit a platform crowded with people waiting for a commuter train. 4 people were killed. Witnesses say the bus came in so fast, nobody had time to run.
The family of a high school student who gave birth at her prom is now preparing a defense. This is home video of 18-year-old Melissa Drexler at her prom in New Jersey. Drexler dumped a newborn baby boy in a bathroom trash can and then returned to the prom. Authorities are not filing charges until they determine if the baby was alive when it was born. The teen's family has hired a prominent lawyer with experience in these types of cases.
Looks like congressional Republicans are backing off in their confrontation over that relief bill for flood victims in the Midwest. President Clinton vetoed the measure the other day, saying it carried too many unrelated GOP amendments. Polls show the GOP getting the blame for this, so the Republicans are offering now to make concessions.
A gas tax proposal in Hillsborough County was shot down tonight by commissioners. Heartline officials say they need $2 million a year to meet requirements connected to the Americans with Disabilities Act. Heartline wanted a 1 or 2 cent gas tax increase to help with that funding. That was rejected by a 4-3 vote. Mayor Dick Greco said something has to be done to help the transit system.
What we should do here, my personal opinion, is to pass just enough of a tax to take care of Heartline and the ADA situation, because I don't know of any other way that it can work.
Instead of the gas tax, which would have raised an estimated $8 million, commissioners agreed to give Heartline $2.5 million. A small portion of that money will go to special projects.
Some folks in South Florida were dealing with quite a project today.
Yeah, who do you call when you see one of these in the road? The story straight ahead on 10 News.
I'm Al Keck. Once again, money dominates the news in sports. The Devil Rays invest theirs in the future, and the Redskins waste theirs on a former Buccaneer.
I'm meteorologist Dick Fletcher. The big thunderstorms are in the process of dying off over Florida. One of them produced this tornado. We'll tell you about it when we come right back.
From CBS Channel 10, covering Tampa Bay, this is 10 News with Sue Zelenko and Pat Andersen. You're watching 10 News at 11.
10 News is closed caption for the hearing impaired, sponsored by the law firm of Belts and Ruth, handling nursing home injuries and neglect. Call 1-800-LAWYERS.
And at your Super 6 Toyota dealers, it's HOT, half off Toyotas when you lease compared to buy. Your total lease payments will be at least half the MSRP on these Toyotas. New Corollas, $189 a month. New Tacomas, $139 a month. Toyotas, hot, hot, hot. This summer, it's HOT, half off Toyotas. Hurry to your nearest Super 6 Toyota dealer.
In 1989, a girl named Tennessee Curtis came to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with a rare cancer. We treated her for 3 years, and in the end, we lost the battle. But what we learned from Tennessee helped us develop treatments that have saved the lives of Jacob, Aaron, Tiara, and hundreds of other children in places around the world. Even when we lose a child, in a way, they live on.
Expect great deals on great cars and trucks every day at Abraham Chevrolet. The car the critics love, the Chevy Malibu, is Abraham priced from only $14,995 with Abraham exclusive 3.9% financing. Or choose America's favorite Chevy Cavalier from only $10,995 with 3.9% financing. Low 3.9% financing on the all-new Malibu and Cavalier. Rush to Abraham Chevrolet today. Number 1 for 23 years, 1/2 mile east of I-275 on Hillsborough Avenue. Abraham Chevrolet, the only dealer you'll ever need.
What do you get Dad for Father's Day?
My dad will like a baseball bat.
When you're on a budget.
How much do you have to spend? $10.
Tomorrow on 10 News at 5. See what these bargain shoppers found for Dad for the right price. New at 6, the Florida Aquarium is taking a hands-on approach to boost admissions. We'll show you what they're doing to make this attraction more attractive to you. Beginning at 5 on 10 News. We've got you covered.
Around Florida tonight, no, that is not the newest fountain in South Florida. In fact, that geyser in the middle of the street is spewing raw sewage in a neighborhood in Dade County. Apparently, a sewer line ruptured under the strain of recent heavy rains. Not only is it a health hazard, it messed up traffic pretty badly, too.
For millions of Americans suffering from multiple sclerosis, there's a new university study that'll be looking into the effects of bee venom. It's not a new idea for some patients, but there are plenty of skeptics. So Georgetown University received a grant from the MS Association to look at the safety of bee stings as treatment. Some patients say it only took one sting to convince them.
Literally, within 20 minutes of that first session for me, numbness and tingling that I had been experiencing for more than 20 years began to break up. Got my attention.
Patients say the venom gives their immune system a boost. Some reportedly sting themselves up to 20 times a day.
3 cities in Florida are on a new list from Money Magazine of the nation's top 10 places to live. That may be no surprise, but this perhaps is. New Hampshire has 3 cities in the top 6. You're looking at one of them here, Nashua, New Hampshire. It was ranked the #1 place to live in the country. LaGuardia topped the communities in Florida. It finished 4th. The rankings were based on things like crime, schools, and cost of living. Davenport, Iowa finished last.
What was it like? Sarasota, Bradenton was 21st, and Tampa,
like
St. Pete was 31st. Although after our weather tonight, we might slide down there a little lower. I saw your video.
With the good comes the bad. We had some huge thunderstorms moving through the area. Right now, the conditions are certainly much more calm. As we show you the view live from Skycam at 100 North Tampa, it is a pleasant evening. Also, our Skycam in St. Petersburg atop the Bayfront Hilton, no action taking place. It is all dying down and all inland. 3-degree guarantee for today. It called for a high of 88. It turned out to be 90. We're 93% over the last 100 forecast. Temperatures tonight at 11 o'clock include 75 in St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater. It's 77 Sarasota, Bradenton, 72 in Newport Richey, and our feels-like temperature is at 79 degrees. The dew point is 72. Humidity is 90%. Pressure rising from 2994. The wind is from the east at 7 miles an hour. Tampa's high today 90, low this morning 74. Only a trace of rain at Tampa's International Airport. Unofficially in Lakeland, 5.5 inches of rain fell. In Zephyr Hills, the thunderstorms passed through eastern Pasco County, producing a ½ inch of rain. Right now at Waitman Middle School, it's 70 degrees and the humidity is 94%. Check out Super Radar over the state over the past 10 hours, and you'll see 2 areas. One, the big cluster of thunderstorms in Polk County, and the other were the huge thunderstorms that were moving through Broward County just to the north of Miami. Those thunderstorms produced this funnel cloud that turned into a tornado as it touched down. It was captured by one of the tower cams in Broward County. We have no reports of any damage on that. There were some minor damage reports that came in from the Auburndale area. That's where the tornado had touched down in Polk County earlier on. The clouds that are producing the thunderstorms are in the process of going downhill and weakening. This trough of low pressure spread out east to west across the state really helped keep things cooking once the westerly sea breeze kicked in and fired it up. Tonight, temperatures are still in the 80s over the southern portion of the Mississippi Valley, while readings are in the 70s on the north side of that front. Over the next 24 hours, showers and thunderstorms are likely to fire up again, starting out near daybreak or near late morning or almost noon along the beaches, and then inland in the afternoon for the Bay Area. The marine forecast then calls for winds to be south to southwest at 10 knots. Seas 1 to 3. Bay and inland waters will have a light chop, and the Gulf temperature is 82 degrees. There are 4 tides for tomorrow. Major high tide, last one of the day at 7:36 p.m. My forecast for highs tomorrow should be in the upper 80s on the beaches, about 90 inland. The 24-hour breakout might be a little bit of patchy fog in the morning, and then from noon on, the showers and thunderstorms starting near the beaches, working their way inland in the afternoon and evening. The UV index for tomorrow's period from 1 to 2 is in the high category at 9. 33 minutes or less is the range on the time to burn. Thunderstorms will be in the area Friday as well, with a 40% chance, decreasing to a near normal 30% chance over the weekend. Lows will be still sticky in the mid-70s, while highs will run near 90 degrees. Want to remind everybody, if you have a chance to get involved with United Cerebral Palsy's Casual Day, actually it'll be a casual week, June 16th to 20th, give the folks a call, 239-1179. They can explain to you how you work it out with your human resources developer at your place of work to take part. We have it worked out here.
In other words, arm twist the boss.
Yeah, and everybody wins in the deal.
I like it.
Thank you, Dick.
Well, you go to the ATM to get some money out, but in many cases it's costing you your hard-earned dollars. We'll tell you what Uncle Sam may be doing to help coming up.
Is FSU's basketball coach leaving Tallahassee at 28 fast? Al's got the latest on Pat Kennedy. And a muddy start to summer vacation for these kids. We'll tell you all about this coming up just before Dave.
The Late Show with Letterman, just 15 minutes away now. Dave's guests tonight are comedian Jon Stewart, Congresswoman turned CBS anchor Susan Molinari, and the musical group 7 Mary 3.
It has the power of 210 turbocharged horses and the agility of 4-wheel multi-link suspension. The 1997 Mitsubishi Eclipse GST. It makes waves. The Eclipse Spider, Mirage, and 3000 GT, the family of sports cars from Mitsubishi, built for living.
Happy Father's Day.
I love it!
Happy Father's Day, honey.
Hey, I love my shirt.
I'm glad you like it.
And I love you.
What do you think?
Very nice, huh?
At Ross, you'll find the perfect gift for Father's Day. Save up to 60% on the top men's brands.
Happy Father's Day.
I love it.
Father's Day?
Yes.
Father's Day at Ross. Don't you just love it?
You're watching 10 News with the resources of Tampa Bay's award-winning news team, the experience of CBS, CNN, and the Florida News Network.
This is it for a limited time at New York Carpet World. Carpets specially priced, and you don't need cash. Pay no money down and get credit-free for 2 full years. Yes, till June 1999. Huge selection, not just a few carpets, hundreds of rolls, all specially priced. And with any carpet you choose, pay no money down and no interest through 1997, 98, credits free till June 1999. You can't pass this up. Shop early. Get to New York Carpet World by Saturday night.
Introducing the 1997 Lexus LS400 Coach Edition. The streets are ready. Are you? Save $3,000 on the Coach Edition at Lexus of Clearwater and Lexus of Tampa Bay, Tampa.
Hi, everyone. Medflies are now breaking through their boundaries.
Tomorrow on 10 News Daybreak, we'll have the latest on this growing problem.
Plus, tips to getting the proper protection out of your sunscreen.
And we'll take you to a convention for Coca-Cola lovers.
We'll see you on Daybreak.
Looks like banks are making more quick money off the machines so many of us use to get quick money. ATMs. A new government report says ATM fees have more than tripled in just 14 months. There's a move in Washington to outlaw some of those fees, but the banking lobby is trying hard to kill it.
Oh, you head out to the old ball game, and it used to be the same old peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Not anymore. Get this, health food at the ballparks. The American Dietetic Association sent some scouts out, and they found things like veggie burgers and grilled chicken sandwiches. You want to indulge still with the hot dogs and the cotton candy? The experts say, go ahead. Just balance it out with some sensible food the rest of the week.
There's got to be one in every crowd, every single crowd. Isn't that the truth? What's going on tonight in sports?
Well, the Florida State Seminoles have just lost a basketball coach. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays have signed a local high school star. We'll tell you all about it next.
What makes a great gift for Dad? How about something he can wear from the concourse to the golf course and everywhere in between? How about a golf shirt from Izod or Grand Slam?
Izod and Grand Slam. Sports shirts at great prices. What a great gift.
Thanks, Britt Eyes.
you put the full-size Chevy pickup on a pedestal. You ranked it the highest quality, the highest owner satisfaction, and it has the highest resale value. Now your Southern Chevy dealers are taking the truck that's on top and driving payments down. 5.9% financing for up to 60 months on full-size Chevy trucks from Barnett Bank. Hurry to Chevy's full-size sales drive.
If you were diagnosed with breast cancer, you'd probably also face radical surgery to learn if the cancer has spread to lymph glands under your arm. But Moffitt developed breakthrough technology that pinpoints cancer cells. So instead of surgery to remove all lymph nodes, up to 80% of our breast cancer patients often walk away with just a Band-Aid. Make sure Moffitt is included in your health care plan. Call toll-free 1-888-MOFFIT.
Of all the things stressing you out right now, here's something that won't. $100 worth of free stuff. It's yours when you open an AmSouth relationship checking account. Come by or call us anytime at 1-800-AmSouth to open one. And we'll also give you $100 worth of free stuff. Right here, right now. Relationship checking with $100 worth of free stuff. From the relationship people, AmSouth Bank.
Makes a great gift for Dad? Something with soul, like working shoes. Better yet, his favorite, weekend shoes.
Bostonian, Bass, Timberland, Sperry. Great shoes at great prices.
What a great gift. Thanks, Burdines.
Now, here's Al Keck with 10 Sports.
And look at this touching scene. Former Buccaneer Alvin Harper showing off his new uniform with the Redskins, cut yesterday in Tampa. Gets a 3-year, $3.5 million deal. But do you think the Redskins saw this stuff?
It just seemed like, you know, I'm a kid all over again. And, you know, I had that 2-year layoff down in Tampa. You know, I really didn't get anything done down there. But, you know, they had some great people down there, great coaching staff. And coming here with Norv is just like a little reunion. Norv is a great coach. He knows the plays that I do best, and I know exactly what he wants.
Excuse me for a moment here. He laid it on a little thick. I'm surprised he didn't drop the jersey. Now to baseball, and the Devil Rays keep throwing money around. Early tonight, they signed their second-round pick, Tampa Catholic's Kenny Kelly. He was considered to be one of the top high school players in the draft. Hit .388, 30 RBI, 24 stolen bases, but Kelly plans to play football at Miami. He'll still do that, but he will play his pro baseball for the Devil Rays. Well, the Yankees continue to chase Baltimore in the American East. Tonight, they have to chase the Chicago White Sox, but Cecil Fielder comes to the rescue. The White Sox let a 5-1 lead slip away. 8th inning, Joe Girardi breaks the 5-5 tie, and the Yankees go on to win it at 7-5. The Yankees are still 7.5 games behind Baltimore. So the Yankees rally on Chicago. Look at Baltimore getting bombed at Boston. Cleveland wins at 11. Texas leads at Minnesota. Roger Clemens falls to 11-1 for Toronto. The Tigers down Oakland, and the Royals beat Anaheim at 6-1. National League, the Rockies take 2 straight from Atlanta. Cubs win. Marlins over San Francisco again. The Phillies lose to Montreal, and Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh by a score of 2-1. Women's softball tonight, the Tampa Bay Fire Sticks wrap up a long homestand. Dee Dee Wyman with the strikeout against Carolina. The Fire Sticks jump out quickly. Amber Wright with the rip. And Tampa Bay takes a 3-0 lead after 1. Carolina comes back with 4 in the second, and the Fire Sticks fall at 5-4. They are 2-9 on the season, but that's 5 one-run losses for the Tampa Bay Fire Sticks. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Plenty of news before the game. Michael Jordan, a question mark, suffering from the flu. Dennis Rodman suffering from foot in mouth. Chances are he'll be facing a suspension after insulting Mormons. A gutsy performance by Michael. He rallied Chicago from a 13-point deficit, and right now it is all tied at 81. They're in the fourth quarter. The winner will take a 3-2 lead back to Chicago. And Florida State's Pat Kennedy is leaving after all. He campaigned for a contract extension after taking the Seminoles to the NIT Finals. FSU officials said no. Word just moments ago that Kennedy has told the Seminoles that he is leaving for DePaul. Kennedy has had a wandering eye for some time, won 202, lost 131 in 11 seasons at Florida State.
I'll be tidying up a little bit here.
Yeah, I know.
Harper.
Alvin Harper brings that out in me, yeah.
Thanks, Al.
Back in a moment.
10 News Sports is sponsored by Walmart.
I'm a Walmart shopper from the word go. I see Bernie in here all the time. Every time I see George, he tries to recruit me. Oh, he'd make a great Walmart associate. I tell him, George, I'm retired and I like it. He's perfect. I'm telling you, he's perfect. He says, so was I, but this is a great place to work. Bernie and I'd make a great team. A great team. I say, George, if I work at Walmart, when am I going to fish? I says to him, Bernie, we'll put you in the fishing department. He never quits.
In Florida, we used to take clean water for granted. Today, we've all learned new ways to protect it. We're Florida Crystal Sugar. We've learned too. Discovering new environmentally friendly technologies to farm, conserve soil, clean water, and cut the use of pesticides. Our work's not done, but we've learned finding new and better ways to clean and protect our water is good for business and good for Florida. Florida Crystal Sugar, part of the solution.
It's unbelievable. At Bob's Carpet Mart, we were shocked when the carpet mill accepted our offer. Imagine, famous name brand carpets that sold for up to $2.66 a square foot, now just 69 cents. Even Berbers and DuPont Stainmasters, only 69 cents. Saxonies, textures, scrolls, plus free financing. The carpet you've always wanted, unbeatable prices at Tampa Bay's favorite carpet store, Bob's Carpet Mart. This sale ends Sunday.
If you're looking for more than a minivan, more standard power, more towing capacity, even more room and comfort, you're looking for a Safari by GMC. And now, it's the perfect time to buy, with up to $1,500 cash back on Safari vans, or 6.9% APR GMAC financing on a new 1997 Safari. Get more now. See your Suncoast GMC dealer today.
You know, it's a little-known fact that you can shake a can of baked beans and hear how good they taste. Leading brand. New Van Camp's old-fashioned baked beans. Oh, it's substantially quieter due to your thick sauce made with rich molasses and real smokehouse bacon. Reminds me of the beans Mom makes. They're made when I lived at home, which I don't anymore. New Van Camp's old-fashioned baked beans. Shake them, hear how good they taste.
Tonight's winning lottery numbers now. The cash 3, 0, 6, and 2. The play 4, 6, 9, 8, and 4. And the fantasy 5, 6, 13, 14, 17, and 21. And Dick is back with your wake-up weather.
And the winners in the rain lottery today were Hillsborough and Polk County. They had anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rain. In the morning, some of that rain, or what's left of it, may make a little bit of patchy fog. The temperature will be in the low 70s. Tomorrow afternoon's high in the upper 80s. Look for the showers late morning on the coast, moving inland in the afternoon.
Another humid one.
Certainly will be.
Thanks, Dick. Well, finally tonight, just before Dave, the story of kids having anything but good, clean fun, and the rain certainly didn't stop this. This is what they call the Mud Wars. It's organized mud games to kick off the city of St. Petersburg's summer teen camp program. The kids ran through the obstacle course, sometimes sliding and crawling through the mud, all in a race against time. Talk about dirty from head to toe. I just want to know, did the camp counselors get those clothes at the end of the day?
Hey, Mom, this bag.
You know, it is standing up in the closet in some corner right now. Mom will find it in about 4 days.
I used to get in trouble for that, didn't you?
I didn't get like that,
no,
thank
of course not. Watch my ass. That's 10 News at 11. Letterman's next in 1 minute.
Daybreak heads out to a Coca-Cola Collectors Convention, plus all the morning news and weather. Do have a good night.
Good night.
Make a move and the bunny gets it.
The #1 movie in America.
Let's do it.
Is a thrill ride you won't forget. Buckle up
blockbuster hit of the summer. Con Air, rated R, now playing.
It's springtime on planet Mercury, causing savings to bloom on Mercury Grand Marquis. Low 1.9% APR financing up to 48 months or $12.50 cash back with rear-wheel drive. A powerful V8, the largest trunk in its class. It's no wonder Grand Marquis is still Florida's best-selling full-size car. But alas, 1.9% financing and $12.50 cash back won't last long. So beam yourself to your Mercury dealer today.